are the explanations that we provide for our own behavior. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? It turns out that we tell stories, right? We tell ourselves things about why we did this or did that. What we're actually exploring in this exercise is why you think you engage in certain behaviors. And the explanations you provide turn out to have a certain systematicity to them. It turns out that they're consistent in some features. Now, psychologists have known this for several decades. We call this your explanatory style. When you answer the question, why did I do this, or why did this happen to me, you have an explanatory style. And we can analyze that explanatory style time and time again to see if it has certain traits or certain features. One of the questions we can ask is, your explanatory style typically give the causes of your behavior as internal or external? Are you saying I do this because of something inside of me that made me do it, that caused me to do it? Or you provide an explanation that says, no, things out in the world made me do that. I was responding to that situation. This is why that happened. And we're going to look at these different explanations in a second and analyze them from that dimension. Another one is, are the causes of this behavior stable versus unstable? So your explanation could say, I did it for this reason. That reason could be a stable reason that consistently appears in your environment, or consistently appears inside of you, or maybe an unstable. It's just a temporary thing, something that just happened to come along that particular time. And then the last one, the last dimension that we can analyze your explanatory style is it a controllable cause or an uncontrollable cause? And we're going to see in a second that if you have certain kinds of systematic answers to these, if you fall reliably on one side of these dimensions, it has consequences for your life. But let's go back and look at the 5 potential answers that I gave you, and you can do a self-analysis of the style that you usually use. So many of you raised your hand and says, I'm interested in this topic. So let's analyze that answer. Is that an internal versus an external kind of cause? To say, I'm interested in the topic. Internal. That's an internal explanation. Is it stable versus unstable? Stable. Yeah. I'm interested in the topic. Presumably I'll still be interested in the topic tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And I was yesterday. Finally, is it controllable or uncontrollable? What do you think? Controllable. Controllable sounds about right. I'm interested in this, so I chose this class. Versus some other kind of situation that might have made me take it. So we would say that that answer is internal, stable, and controllable. That explanation, that style of explanation, falls on this side of this equation. Now this is an easy example to work with because you're all students, we all have to take lots of classes, and we can look at our explanatory style in that setting and ask ourselves, is it external, unstable, or uncontrollable? The consequence of this is that people who are labeled optimists frequently use this side of the equation. They explain the consequences of their behaviors as internal causes, stable causes, and controllable causes. I'm in charge of my life. I make things happen, particularly positive things. But when people walk around with these kinds of explanations in their head or out loud when they share with their friends, they typically end up being pessimists. I'm not in control. Things just happen to me, blah, 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 blah. Right? Optimists take negative events and flip them around. So positive events, they use the internal, stable, controllable explanation. But negative events, curiously enough, they flip and they use the external, unstable, uncontrollable explanation. Now, it's a little unrealistic. Why wouldn't you just use the same kinds of explanation no matter whether it's positive or negative? Well, that's at the heart of why they're optimists versus pessimists. Optimists think, well, good things happen because of who I am. Bad things happen, well, just the world caused a little bit of disruption. I'm going to get back to having good things happen pretty soon because that's who I am inside. Pessimists flip it the other way. Bad things happen, that's because of who I am, right? I'm unlucky, I'm not a success, I'm a failure. Continually bad things are going to happen around me and to me. When good things happen, they think they're unstable, uncontrollable. Yeah, that happened, but it was just luck. That really isn't going to happen next time.